Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Here we're tossing. Where do we go from here? That was it's just a bit dull, and then really messy, and then like another missed opportunity. And the Liverpool result just kind of makes it even worse. In a weird way, I kind of wish they'd won, but I mean I don't obviously. But you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of that double blow of the missed opportunity as well as the performance in the draw. I mean, where do we start? I've talked so much about the manager with everyone else, but is that where your mind is?
Yeah, I'm looking at him. I've been.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my brother a couple of days ago, and I said my eyes are on Arteta this season. I know he signed a new contract. His contract expires 2027, but I think now we've got to start talking about him because ultimately it's his decisions that's costing Arsenal points. Like he's literally his decisions to not start a player, to start a player, poor subs. It's actually costing us games now, and the team has actually regressed. I mean, I saw a stat that we've dropped points in 8 of our 16 matches this season. It's just like, that's scary. That doesn't look like a team that wants to win the title to me.
Yeah, it's also the nature of a lot of these drop points. The Brighton one I sort of forgave because of the red card. I thought that was a bit ridiculous. But then, Fulham, man, like the chances we had, you're talking more about the players. I don't think Arteta got everything right then. And you fast forward to this one, talking way more about the manager. Help me understand what he was trying to do with those subs, because I often sit on Tactical Insight and I try and explain what the hell's going on, and I really had no idea what the plan was. I don't know what we ended with. We seem to have less midfielders around Jorginho, but he's kind of the one player who needs more players around him. I just didn't understand the approach. And I asked Bavs this, I'll repeat the question. Did he kind of lose his head and bottle it a bit, Arteta, and just...
Completely.
Yeah.
Absolutely he did. He's the new Ranieri. He literally is the new Ranieri. Arteta is the new Claudio Ranieri. Tinkerman, didn't Ranieri do... He did a decent job with Chelsea. They spent some money, but he couldn't win the league, right?
He was always seen as the guy who couldn't until Leicester.
The nearly man. Arteta's become the new Ranieri because, bro, you tinker so much, you overthink. It wasn't him that said, we play like 100 different formations.
Yeah.
Bro, like, just make the game simple. Why is Slot doing so well at Liverpool? He's gone in, yeah, he's got his element of control, but he's not really... He's changed a few things, but you see Liverpool stylistically... Go from control, go to Klopp style. Simple. I don't get why football has to be so complicated with Mikel Arteta. The new Ranieri.
And look, I mean, Ranieri's a title winner, so if he gets one, I'll be happy.
Let me correct that. Ranieri at Chelsea, not Ranieri at Leicester.
No, I guess that line, the Tinkerman, you're right. I mean, I don't actually remember the Ranieri Chelsea days, but there's something about Arteta that's very like, just keep it simple. Because the players, for me, look like they feed off the basics better. And when he's tried to sort of overthink it, overdo it, innovate, and look, sometimes he's got it absolutely right. But sometimes it's been a shocker. I really think we wasted 4 or 5 months of Kai Havertz playing him in midfield. And there's quite a few, but then he does other things like play White at right back, where he looks brilliant. So this is the thing, you're going to get some right, get some wrong.
Give and take. But of course, I want to talk about Arteta, but also the players as well, man. Like, I've been saying all season, I still believe Arsenal can win the league. I'm just saying it right here. I don't believe this team doesn't want to win the league. This team, as much as the manager can make all of these changes, I'm looking at you. Where are the leaders on the pitch? The only leaders on the pitch I saw today was Saka trying to do something, Saliba trying to do something, Gabriel trying to do something. Everyone else, I don't know what you guys are doing. This is not a team that wants to win the league. So I'm looking at these players. I'm just like, guys, I think maybe we hit our peak last season, and maybe something needs to change. I don't know.
Well, people need to be really open to the idea, and this is going to upset fans, and I know it. But Poch's Tottenham finished, I think, third and second. When they finished third, they should have finished second, but anyway. They didn't win a trophy. I think across those 2 seasons, they put up the most points, the most goals, the better points tallies, all this stuff, whatever, across 2 campaigns. But ultimately, they never won it. But look how quickly that derailed. And look how quickly that fell away. And they had these young players, and they had the homegrown talent, and they had the progressive new manager. And I know it's now been a good 6-7 years, but look how quickly the reputation of a lot of those players, Pochettino, whatever's changed. And look, I believe we are and can be better. But if a Tottenham fan looked at me and said, well, what's better? It's very difficult to go for the real tangible evidence. And I think people need to realize how fragile it is. Like, until you've won the big one, You really are just with all the other nearly people. And these Arsenal players and the manager, I think, need to really realise that.
It's true. No, it's the classic Jay-Z line, Dark Knight feeling, die and be a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think that's what's happening. This team, they may have missed their chance. They may have missed the opportunity. This is the weakest we've seen Man City. This is Liverpool under a new manager. You mean to tell me that and people keep talking about squad building, blah, blah. I don't care what anyone tells me. That team, this squad we've got is like the Liverpool squad ain't miles better than this. It really isn't.
I low-key agree. Yeah.
The Liverpool, I'm looking at Liverpool. Their attack is better than ours overall in terms of players, but our defense overall is better than Liverpool's. So you're looking at two sides. You're looking at two sides of the coin here. But Liverpool are putting up the numbers they're doing. Look at the way they're playing. So I'm not. I don't want to give this Arsenal team so many excuses. I just think we are underperforming. Managers are underperforming. Players are underperforming, and yeah, I just question the mentality.
Yeah, I hear it. Title race. You said you don't think this team want to win the title. I know what you mean. It's more about an attitude, the way they carry themselves. I mean, of course they want to, but they're not showing that kind of quality and that mentality at the moment. Do you think it's over? Have we missed too many opportunities? Because I was convinced that Liverpool would let us back in, and technically they have, but we haven't capitalised. If Chelsea had been let back in, if anything, I think if we'd beaten Fulham, we'd beaten Everton today, which that was the expectation. We'd have 4 points more, so we'd actually be sitting here 2 points behind them. All right, they'd have another game in hand. That game in hand's a Merseyside derby, the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. You're as good as 2, 3, 4 points behind them, but it feels like that's just come and gone, and we've just bottled the opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just time to, maybe I deluded myself, but I think it's time to drop the delusion. Like, Arsenal can't keep dropping these points every week, not taking advantage, and then I'm saying, oh yeah, like there's still half a season left to play. Yeah, there is, but it's nearly January.
Yeah, I know.
It's legit nearly January. Like that, 16 games have been played. I think we've seen fairly enough to actually get an estimation of what the ceiling of this Arsenal team is, and I think we've seen it. That probably their ceiling might be second place, but they don't look like a team that wants to win. I'm just sorry, they do not.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Absolute pleasure.